damn it. We are live.
We are live. We thought we were live a minute ago.
We literally talked for
and we crushed it.
Yeah.
For like a minute.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna just ruin everything.
Yeah. As you can read the cup.
Oh wait, it's the wrong way. See, it's always backwards.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We thought we would be prepared early and get this started on time. And
we got started early.
We did get started early. I hit the go live, and because we had to send Billy a message to join, I thought I would be smart and send all our friends messages on Messenger, and it turns out that flagged me on Messenger, and I can't send any more messages. So we had to manually type it out through Chris to get it to Billy. So he should be joining us shortly. But thanks for joining us again. And shortly, like I said, we should have Billy from Mutation Creation. And I'm sure he's got lots to talk about.
Absolutely. So yeah, if you have any questions for Billy, get those up and ready right early, because Billy's very enthusiastic individual. He is very passionate about what he does. So let's get those questions in early so we can get all your guys' questions asked. He's been up to a lot of stuff too. So Greg is not in Facebook jail. He's in spamming Messenger jail.
I should be in jail, actually.
Well, for
Facebook jail. I should clarify.
No.
I mean, both kind of work.
You know, Facebook, Messenger.
Yeah. Anyways, to start this off, we thought we had actually went live about 5 minutes ago, and we talked for all 5 of those minutes, and
it was awesome.
It was actually a really good conversation, and found out that we hadn't hit go live yet. So
yeah. So it should just be a minute here for Billy. I know he's trying to get in here.
Has he seen it?
Yeah, he's seen it. I don't know if he's clicked on it or what's happening. Anyways, talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
You'd think after, I mean, we haven't even kept count on how many of these we've done.
I know. At least we haven't done the old man. Is this thing on?
Yeah, we did. We did it when we were at Amy's.
I don't know. I mean, now, today. We've done it before. I mean,
you'd think we'd be pros by now, and definitely not.
Professionals at not having this go smoothly.
This is why we get a TV show.
Yeah, I know. There's people out there.
I even dressed up for tonight's episode.
There's people going, really? They put those guys on TV? Oh, and you put Spanley, not even Stanley. You totally screwed up. You screwed up the screw up.
No, I did that on purpose.
It was Stanley.
No, it was Spanley, and you made fun of it, and then I said,
enough.
No, we're keeping it. No, definitely Spanley today. We decided to do it at my house today because I have air conditioning, and it is so hot here. Our shop would have been like a nightmare. Oh, here's Billy.
There we go.
What's up?
Billy! How you doing?
Oh,
how's it going?
The background, love it.
So sorry about that. I tried to send you the invite, and it won't. I got flagged on Messenger for sending too many invites, and apparently I can't send messages now.
Greg doing Greg things.
Yeah, Greg. Hey man, someone's got to do it.
Yeah. So what have you been up to? Not much, right?
Just always busy, man. Trying to do 1,000 things, and it's really heavy into breeding season. So, doing what I love to do.
Absolutely. So how maybe you can touch base here with some of our friends here about what you got going on the internet there with your all your new pages and all the stuff that's going on.
What do you mean, like all my social media?
All of it.
the
Patreon.
Yeah, and the little kind of,
no, it's OnlyFans, right?
I don't think I do well on that one. I don't know. You never know, man. Today's society.
And somebody into everything. I'm just saying. We thought the same thing.
I think Greg would actually have better calling out for OnlyFans than I would.
Well, if that wasn't you, I spent a lot of money and got nothing in return.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're off and rolling.
It's a good thing we don't get censored on our channel.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. No, I try to reach out on all platforms now. Instagram is my favorite. It's just one that I'm always on. So I like to be on it. I like the way it, you can scroll through it, you respond, you can double tap. I think it's very user friendly. I love the whole platform. And then moving on, Facebook, I seldom use. I mean, it's there. I have it where I link my Instagram. So anything I post on Instagram automatically gets sort of thrown over to my Mutation Creation page on Facebook. But I don't really concentrate too much on it. I'm hardly on it. I find that there's too much crap on Facebook.
You're not
I
wrong.
mean, I have, and there's just so many. To me, it's not about, marketing or anything like that. You go through it and you see a cool snake, then you see somebody like F my life. They put all their personal problems on it.
Yeah.
Just so much drama. And I'm like, I'm just here to look at snakes and cool stuff, not that it's nonsense, and there's a lot of people sharing stupid videos and stuff like, I don't understand the mentality behind it, but you see somebody being cruel to a dog and they want to share it to other people. I don't want to see that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know what's out there, man. There's so much crap out there in the world. I don't want to see it. I know what's out there. I just don't want to see it. But I sort of leave that platform alone. YouTube, I love doing videos. And now, and Patreon is sort of my new platform now, where I can do what I want and I can say what I want, and I can give people reality of what I do or what we do in general. And people out there that are uneducated, or I would say uneducated, not in our hobby, or they're not, they don't have the knowledge that we do. And they see something like I feed a rat to my snake and they freak out. Oh, you're so cool. Like, what the hell? Like, there's things in our hobby that, you're going to see and you're going to have to deal with. And, it's just not for everybody. But if you want to come to Patreon and see stuff and get behind the scenes, get more stuff of the Mutation Creation crew, stuff that I've done for 18 years that I can tell you and not have stupid comments or feedback. I do something like cut an egg, and people, oh my God, you're cutting with scissors. Your holes you open them up too wide. Oh,
well, Billy, it's just because your scissors are so much bigger than everybody else's.
Yeah, but you know what? It works for me, right? I mean, I have the small scissors, right? But I can't put my fingers. I mean, it hurts to try to. I like to be able to, be able to handle them, so I have a straight cut. But I mean, I've been doing it for years and years and years, and it's something I do, and I feel comfortable doing it, and that's what I tell people: do what you feel comfortable doing. Don't do it because I do it. Don't do it because Brian Barczyk or anybody else that's that they follow on YouTube. I mean, YouTube, it's good and it's bad at the same the same sense. I mean, there's so much out there that is great knowledge and information, and it's presented properly. And then there's other people that just watch something or hear something, and then they're just regurgitating it and doing it, and it's wrong info.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part with the YouTube is people get famous and become quasi experts for the wrong reasons. It's just because they have 1 million followers or whatever, but it's for the wrong reasons.
Well, and it's not coming from a point of experience. It's coming from just looking for the followers and looking for the stuff that grabs attention, and they're just, again, regurgitating information, but they don't actually know if this actually works or not from any real life experience. Which is, there's no way to police it. It's not like the books we used to get. There's a peer review process there, right? Back in the day, there's no peer review process when it comes to anything online. Anybody can say anything and put themselves out as an expert.
Yep.
And there's no way to other than it just eventually over time you start to see, and over time everybody it's a small enough hobby that the people know people, especially in Canada here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for so long. I mean, I've been breeding now to actually breed for around, I think it's like 18th or 19th year. Before that, I mean, the 5-6 years prior to that, I've owned animals in different species. And, so I'm probably 25 years into this, but 18 as a breeder, going on my 19th, I believe, maybe even 20, who knows? I don't even find myself as an expert. You know, I'm someone that has a lot of experience. I have a lot of knowledge. I'm not an expert. I still make mistakes. I'm still learning. I'm still trying new methods. And we've evolved from back in the day from where we are now with equipment, knowledge, just different things, different ways to, breed. I know when I first started 20 years back, you had to drop the temperatures, you had to do this, you had to do that. And I think 7 or 8 years I did that. And I had okay success, but my animals would go off food because the temperature was lower, et cetera, et cetera. And then someone came to me and says, oh man, you should try not dropping the temps. And I'm like, you have to, that's what stimulates the winter coming. And that's when they breed. He's like, no, dude, don't. And I tried it and I never looked back. I get better clutches. My animals are eating the temperatures all year round. So you adapt, you learn something and you change. But I don't even think I'm an expert. I'm just great at what I do. I'm successful. But in that success, I've failed many, many times because the first 6 to 8 years, there was no, interaction like this. There was no reaching out on social media. Nobody wanted to share information to help people. It was always, when I got information, it was, okay, don't do that again because someone just wanted to sabotage you because you were their competition.
Yeah.
So
the nice thing with some of the stuff you're doing too is with the mentorship stuff you're doing is it used to be the way we did it back in the day too, was you would get to know somebody and you would have to kind of prove that you really had a genuine interest in these animals. And over time, once they sort of decided that you really did have a passion for it, it wasn't just a quick and easy, whatever. They just wanted to know that you actually cared genuinely. And over time would start teaching you stuff and you learn from that experience. And now online, you can do the same thing without having to be there in person. And so, I mean, the technology is kind of helping bring it back to the old school way of doing it in a certain way.
It's also because it's getting people that would never. Is that me?
Yep.
Is that my feedback?
Maybe a little bit. It's not bad on our end. No, I don't hear it on our end. So.
Okay, it might just be here. So what I was going to say was, what's great about social media now, it's opening up the world and seeing these amazing animals that we love, and not only ball pythons. I mean, the lizards, snakes, all different types of the animals in the reptile community that people are breeding and raising up. Before, 20 years ago when you said, hey, I owned a snake, people looked at you like, I mean, never
You're
mind.
crazy.
20 years ago, tattoos is like, oh my God, this guy's, whoa, wow. When you said, oh, this guy has a snake, what? You're crazy. Like, it was nuts. At least now it's opened up the world to seeing the beautiful, species that we all deal with. And they see how people are interacting and the beauty behind them and YouTube. I don't know how many times I read the comments. It's like, hey, I'll never own a snake. I've been afraid of them, but I love watching your videos. They're very interesting, such beautiful. I may own one. Or you read somewhere like, hey, you know what? I was so afraid of snakes, but watching your videos and learning, through you and seeing other people, I've actually got my first one. It's amazing that, just some old guy that loves doing what he's been doing and trying to craft it and be better at it every year and grow my collection. And with the passion I have, can relay to other people and bring them into something where they would never even have thought, prior to seeing a video.
I wonder if ours is loud. Sorry to interrupt there. There's some people talking about there is an echo that they're hearing. We're not hearing it, so maybe it's us.
So you know what? Let me just do this then.
We're going to turn down our speaker a little bit because it may be echoing through. Oh, here we go. You're like a radio DJ now.
Wow. Hold on.
Bro. This is professional grade equipment here. Welcome to the stage. Yeah. Next up, put your hands together.
So you know what? I'm going to set it up like this. Hold on.
Oh, look at that. Oh, he's got two speakers.
Mics. Look at this.
Oh, you haven't seen my podcast?
We haven't. I've seen you advertising it, but we haven't had a chance to watch.
So while you're setting that up, there's some people with some comments and stuff here about keeping snakes for a long time. And for me, when I started off too, it was a long time ago, the late '80s. When I started.
He's old.
And It was a matter of I wanted to keep stuff and learn everything I possibly could about it before I even thought about breeding stuff. And there seems to be a rush now to the second you get stuff, everybody wants to breed. And it's like, learn the animals, learn to be able to read the animals, the body, the what makes them successful and thrive. Learn all of the possible things that could go wrong before you're going to be somebody who puts stuff out there and puts out babies in there where you can actually help them solve any problems they have. You don't want to be somebody who, you literally have kept it for a year and now you're breeding them. Well, if there's an issue, you're not going to know how to solve it because you've only been keeping the animal for a year.
Yeah, definitely. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
I think it sounds a little bit better.
I think so. So is there still an echo there?
Probably would be, yeah. Hold on. Oh, how do I, I'm just trying to see how I can get into camera mic. Camera's okay. Mic. I'm going to go to.
It's very high tech on that end. We got like a laptop. And,
yeah. Why can't
two plastic solo cups.
Yeah.
So it won't let me.
What if we turn our volume down a little bit?
Well, we still need to hear it.
I know, but if you turn it down a little bit,
well,
maybe it'll help.
I've turned it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering why it's not letting me in. Hold on.
Because maybe it's picking up the mic here with the speaker.
I don't think so. We've never had that complaint before.
No.
I think it's because we've got two speakers or two microphones.
Billy's so high tech.
You hear me now?
I can hear you clearly.
That might have actually got better.
Okay.
It sounded more like from one.
Yeah,
maybe both the mics were on. There was a delay on one or something.
Yeah, because I was going through the original laptop, and now I'm going through my system. Is it working?
There we go.
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Yeah, what were we talking about? We were talking about the way things are done these days.
Yeah, I mean it's coming again. Like I said, I like the mentorship stuff he's doing. Again, it's kind of a throwback to the old school way, but with the technology and with all the internet and stuff we have now, it's kind of a way of bringing it back around the same way, where you can learn from experienced people instead of just parroting stuff you see online without any basis or background for information. You can tell somebody something, but if they don't know the why or how or why this happens or works this way, that's useless information for them. They've got this piece of information, but they don't understand how they got to that.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing about I guess the mentorship that I have, so there's different tiers on my Patreon. Some people are there just to get more content that's behind the scenes, that's not on YouTube. And, the higher you go up, the more discounts I give off of animals. The top 2, if not 3 tiers, they're sort of like the ones that I really spend the time with. They'll give me what they're working with, the animals, and I'll sort of, I don't mold it to what I want. I sort of ask them where you want to be, what's your budget, what your expectations are, what do you like to work with, and then I sort of look at what they have and give my suggestions over with my experience, how to get to their goal, not my goal. I hate when people say, "Hey, Billy, I got this, pied female. What should I breed to it?" Well, I can't answer that for you. You need to know what project do you want to go. Do you want to make pies? Do you want to make double head clown pies? I mean. And I don't even know what you have, because everybody wants to say or ask, "Hey, Billy, what would you do with it?" Well, what I can do with it with the animals I have compared to what you can do with it with the animals you have are two different stories. And I don't want to guide people to make stuff that I like and I enjoy that excites me. You need to produce stuff and make your own projects and buy the animals that excites you and gives you passion, because this isn't just buy it 6 months later, you dump it. I mean, you should be buying animals to grow a collection. I've been building mine now for 18 plus years, and I'm not even happy or content where mine is. And I have 16 to 1800 animals. So it's my passion and what I want to do with my collection that keeps pushing me forward. And the fact that I can't hit everything I want, or, I'm going to get 6 females and this is what it's going to be. You get all males. I got to wait a year. So there's no one word or a sentence that you can, say that can relate to everybody. Someone asked me, so on Patreon, people will ask, hey, I've got $10,000. This is what I've got. What should I do with it? Okay, well, that's great, but I can't give the same advice on a project with a $10,000 budget with someone that has 100. It's two totally different worlds, but you can still get to the same spot, except the person with 10,000 is going to take a lot longer, than the person that can just buy right into it. So
right. You meant the reverse then.
Yeah, no, we got that right.
No, he said the guy who's got 10,000
can't do it as much as the guy with 100,000.
Oh,
I
sorry.
can.
Yeah, he was right.
The guy with the 10,000 can get there. It's just going to take him a lot longer because he's got more ingredients, where the guy with 100 can buy right in and achieve the goal faster.
Yeah.
Well, I would say better to be faster because he has better odds, but the odds are not always on your side. So I've been chasing.
No, and you also have to be smart in the way that you spend that money too, because just because you have 100,000, if you don't have the passion and you don't have the knowledge backing what you're doing, you're going to fail. So, I mean, it's not all about the money necessarily. 100%. Obviously, it makes it easier, but the passion's got to be there too.
Yeah, like if you don't have the passion, the time, and even the experience will come. But if you don't have any of those and just have money, you're probably going to fail.
Yeah.
I would rather have the passion, experience, and the time, and the love, and the want, rather than have the money. If I had money on top of those, it's a
great,
it's colossus. Like it's just, money on top is the icing on the cake, but you got to have the cake first. There's people on the Patreon that have come on and say, hey, I'm new to this. I have some money. How do I get into it? Even though they don't have experience, I'm setting them up with proper animals where down the road, if for some reason a year or two in, it's like, you know what, it's not really for me now. I'm getting the experience. I've learned a lot. It's just not what I thought. I want to get out. They've got quality animals with proper, with a project in mind, so that it's not just wasted animals. So you can actually now put it up for sale, and it's not just bumblebees or pinstripes or just low end stuff that's flooded already in the market. It's higher end quality stuff that people could use, or even buy groups and now attach that to their own collection and actually have a good running start. So, you always want to set up for success, but you also want to set up for failure also. You want to have that cushy side. I wouldn't expect anyone, go buy 20 normals and a couple pastels and then go get a power male and do that. You can make some money, but it's not setting you up for the future. No. And then you don't like it, and now you're trying to get rid of animals that no one wants. If you have, dreamsicle females and pastel clowns, or, Batman females in your collection that are 1,000 grams or breeder size, and you go to sell them, they're going to be sold before you finish, hitting, enter on Morph Market. It's sold because it's quality stuff that people are looking for, that aren't readily available.
I wanted to touch on something, and I like what you're doing with the Patreon, in the sense that, on YouTube, anybody can try and get information for you, but it doesn't cost them anything. So whether you reply or not, it's just putting it out there. Whereas Patreon, you're also getting a return for giving that information, but it's more tailored to those people who are willing to pay and put in the time to, to listen and get the advice from you. So I think it's actually a good. It only works for certain people. I don't think if I set up a Patreon, I'd maybe have 0 followers. But I think it's good in the sense that you're willing to help those people get started in the ball python market, and ball pythons have a huge following, obviously. So it's a good niche market to do this in. So I commend you for it, and I'm assuming it must be working out well for you, and at the same time, people are getting the benefit for it, because obviously if they don't, they won't continue to subscribe. So
Correct. Like, I mean, it's work for me. I mean, I have a bunch of different things now that I'm coming out with. There's a couple live streams that I'll be doing this month, at least the first one. I'm just trying to coordinate it and have that sort of all set up. I've got with this new system here, the podcast, I can actually sit there and, talk about certain things. So, how do I choose my pairings every year? I can just turn this on, don't need a camera, and just talk, for half an hour to an hour, my thoughts, my processes, and then that goes on Patreon and people can listen to. It's like, oh, wow. But I find that when I speak to people one-on-one or even in a podcast, I talk, I'm great at talking. I love talking. I know what I'm talking about. I have a lot of experience. People always pull something. It's like, oh man, I heard your podcast and this thing really stood out. I didn't realize that. So there's always something that they can grasp from it to better their collection or their breeding practices or their, just general maintenance or care of the animals. There's always something. But what I really want to do with Patreon is, there's certain levels. Some people just go at the $5 and $10 just for support, get extra videos, just more of mutation creation in general. And then there's also stuff that they can learn. We put up pictures of stuff and we have a thing called left and right, just different animals. So it's interactive, but the higher tiers is where people want to pay more to learn more. I'm not going to start teaching people how to turn their hobby into a business if you're at the $5 tier and you have 2 pastels. It doesn't make sense for me to teach that. So I can get in depth for those people that are paying more, but at the same time, I'm giving them back I'm giving them incentives and free merch, which it sucks right now because of COVID. Everything's back ordered and it just sucks. COVID's really stumbled upon all different types of markets. But those people now, they can buy animals, and at my top tier, they get 25% off my animals. And I don't have just run-of-the-mill animals. I have some nice animals. So if there's a $3,000 animal up there and they like it, they're getting $750 off that animal. Well, that's 3 months off. That's 3 free months off of the Patreon. So I'm offering it to those people where I actually really want people at the higher tiers to buy animals and get the discount. So everything that they're learning, being a part of Patreon, is free for them. I mean, I make enough with snakes. I mean, I do really well with snakes. I mean, the amount of work that I have to do and the emails and some of the services we're having at the top 3 or 4 tiers where we'll help you ID your clutch. You send your babies in the adults that made them, and we'll try to help you. We're not going to do everything for you. We want to sort of teach you as well. But I mean, that's a service where I've been doing it for years for free, and I don't even get a thank you from half of them.
Well, I think that's one benefit for you in doing this different levels too, is especially if you're giving a discount on your animals, because in reality, what you're doing is they are saving on the animals, but you're giving them the work, and now you're supporting your customers versus people who are just wanting the information for free.
The funny thing is I've always supported my customers and even non-customers. What really got to me and had the idea for Patreon is I probably spend 4 to 6 hours a day, every day, on the phone, answering emails, checking out, helping people somehow, shape, or form, whether they're a customer or not. I spent time with one individual, 3 hours here, 2 hours here, all the time, and I thought I was giving him a good start. And then I didn't hear from him, so I gave him like 15, 20 hours in about a 2-week period, helping him purchase stuff, and he was buying stuff. I don't have any of those. He bought some animals for me. I don't have that, but I can refer you to this person. So they bought, some sales in Canada. Don't hear from him for a couple of weeks. And I'm like, hey man, hey, what's going on? Dude, it's not for me. It's just too much. And some of them didn't eat and blah, 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 blah. I just got out. I'm like, so I just spent, 15, 20 hours with you of my time for nothing. I mean, he did spend some animals, nothing high end, but I could have put that time and effort into someone that needs it, that is going to be here in 2 months or 4 months or a year from now. And I'm like, wow, I'm giving this free time, which I don't have enough of myself. I mean, I live and breathe this hobby. People don't realize it. Oh, Billy's at the facility for 4, 5, 6 hours a day, and then probably doing whatever. I'm here checking out the internet, answering the phone on phone calls. My life is this. It's 16 to 18 hours a day. I'm thinking this, researching, watching something, talking to somebody. It's nonstop. My time is precious, and I'm not wasting it on people that don't have respect for my time. You want my time? I will give you, and I will help you, and I will guide you. And I hope you're even more successful than me one day. I mean, I won't hate. I'll actually applaud you because I know the damn hard work it takes to be where I'm at. And if you're willing to put it in and you can achieve status better than me, my hat's off to you, because it ain't hard. I mean, it isn't easy. Some people always say, you know what, Billy, one day I'm going to be, I can't wait to get a collection your size. Watch what you ask for.
Yep.
You only see the glory side, the stuff that I make. You don't understand behind the scenes, the stuff that we have to deal with, the amount of time and effort to keep the collection. And without my team, I wouldn't even be at this level. But you show investment in me, and I will give investment into you with my time, my knowledge, my help, anything I can do. And I'm also giving you discounts because I don't want to make money off of you. I don't want to charge for my time, but I'm charging it. But you can get all that money back by buying animals. Yeah. So it's sort of like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. But I'm not wasting any more of the time that I cannot buy. I cannot alter. I get 24 hours in a day just like everybody else. But I don't want to waste it anymore. And I feel with what I've done and what I've accomplished and every hurdle that I had to jump over to get to where I'm at, I think that is worth $1, or a dollar value. Because if I had that back in the day, I wouldn't have lost as much money, time, clutches that I could have saved, but I didn't have anyone to help me or knowledge. What I've lost to where I can save people money, animals. There's so many people that reach out to me on Patreon. Hey, Billy, how about this? And I'm like, oh, thank you. I saved it. Great. Even this thing with the umbilical cord being wrapped.
I figured that was going to
I was waiting for that to come up. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't mind if I get into it?
No, but I just want to say one thing real quick before you get into the umbilical cord is I just wanted to point out that it's like what you're doing with that. There's a lot of built-in value there. It's a way to vet, like they're getting real value out of a guy with real life experience, a guy that's done it, put in the time, and you're getting that from that, like the source. It's always considered the source for information. They're going right to the source of a guy with a lot of experience who's done very well with it, and that's where the value is built in. And you're like you said, you're not even making anything off of it technically because you're giving that back with the animals. So it's just nice to see that. And I did want to say one thing real quick is that Chris Fortier had noted here, he's very impressed with watching all the stuff thrown at your way for years and years, that you still find a way to help instead of getting bitter and stepping back from it. So
yeah, I mean, it's it's the internet. I understand. I mean, there's always some jackass. There's always somebody out there that, keyboard warrior, someone knows more than you, but they've had one fucking clutch. Oops, whatever. I don't know if Facebook. Yeah.
We don't care about profanity here.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's frustrating because, I mean, I have ADHD, I have OCD, I have mild Tourette's. That's why I'm always fidgety. And sometimes I make, sounds with my mouth I don't even know. I was born this way. It's me. I've been sort of, I don't know. I mean, I've grown up with it my whole life. So I've always had, people teasing me or something. There's always, it's like that. I mean, everybody has some sort of an issue, being picked on or, something. People have PTSD. Some people have really bad anxiety. No one's perfect and everybody has something. And when I go out there, I'm being myself, and people are like, "Oh, God, this guy's smoking crack," or this guy's on meth. I don't know too many meth heads or crack heads, so I don't really know how they act. I mean, except on TV when they're like, hey man, like
They usually don't have a microphone and headset.
yeah, like I mean, I'm sorry I'm hyper. I'm sorry I'm excited. When I see eggs, even though I've cut, thousands of them, I still get excited because that's what I love and my passion is in this. And if you guys can't see it, then hey, I mean, I'm not trying to show my passion. It's just I'm the same way in person. Like look at me now.
Hey, we can confirm 100%.
Read your
WCRE last year, when Billy was out there, I never saw him take a sip of anything, do anything. And this is what you see is what you get.
Yeah, and I mean, people just judge. I see people like, oh, you're cutting the eggs with scissors. You should use a razor. Who the fuck said that? Like, where is the rule saying what is proper?
I feel like if you, with the collection that you have, if scissors didn't work, you wouldn't be using it.
Hell, if they were harming animals, I don't care about my collection. If I harmed an animal or what I was doing was making animals unhealthy or deformed, of course I would stop doing it. I mean, most of these clutches I'm hatching are $4,000, $5,000, $10,000. Do you think I'm going to take, let me see if this one will help? I mean, I would be on meth or crack if I was doing that. Like
Iron Chef chopping up snakes here. Yeah.
God, Jesus. Like, and the funny thing is I shoot and send. What you see is real. There's no editing. I mean, we add some stuff to the front or some bloopers. Lord of Lion will make work as magic, but there's no, oops, Billy screwed up. Let's cut it. And oops, next scene. It's cut and shoot. I mean, it's or shooting, whatever, what I'm getting at. It's raw. So when I cut the eggs, I show inside and then, 3-4 days later, 5 days later, here's an update. Here, look at 7 animals where eggs were cut. Oh, there's 7 healthy animals. I can even show you them in my rack at 600, 700, 800 grams, 6 months later. There's nothing wrong with what I do. If there was, I would be the last person to do it. And I would say, hey guys, you know what? I've done this and what I've noticed, it's harmful for your animals, 3 months later. Or, when you do this and you take them out of the egg too early, they're very bad eaters. I have years, probably 7 years or 8 years, maybe even 9 I've been cutting. And I've cut thousands of eggs, thousands. I said this last night in my podcast, I actually have noticed that when I cut, 2-3 days early, sometimes 4, depending on, and I don't have a set date when I cut. When I cut, I feel the egg. I can know it's dimpled. I can feel the snake inside. I feel comfortable cutting it. And by cutting them, my animals are actually out and have shed before, when people leave them to pip and come out on their own. Before your animals are coming out, mine are already shed and have been eating. So I actually find, and this is just my belief, and because I have the the amount of animals that I've done this way, I think because you're not stressing them out or they're not exerting themselves trying to get out of the egg, it's like I take them as soon as they're out of the egg, they shed. I put them in and I'm feeding them a fuzzy, not even a pinky, a fuzzy. And they're pretty much eating right away. And my animals thrive. So I actually think it gives them a better start. And that's just me. And I mean, I can back it up with my results of thousands of eggs. Other people do it their way. There's nothing wrong with it because as long as our animals are coming out healthy and eating and surviving and doing well, who cares if you use a chainsaw to cut them open? Like,
well, maybe that's being excessive.
Ultimately,
I wouldn't be
animals for the pet hobby. These aren't animals that are getting released into the wild to fight for their lives every second of their life. So I mean, there's a different goal here as well.
Yep. Ballistic pythons. They just did a video the other day, and I believe they lost. Or no, he saved an egg. Or no, it did drown. I saw bits and pieces of it. But if he cut a couple days earlier, I think he would have saved it, or he did cut earlier and saved it. It was one of the two. But I have so many people saying, hey, it's day 57. I finally decided to cut because there was no one pipped and all of them are drowned. if you cut at day 52 or 53 when they looked and felt ready, guess what? You probably could have saved them. But then there's people out there, which makes no sense. Well, that's Mother Nature. They weren't meant to be. You know what? If I can save an animal by intervening and cutting 3 or 4 days earlier, or untying there's a snake with the umbilical cord wrapped around it. Oh, it's not going to make it, sucker. Too bad for you. What type of ideology is that? Like, save the damn thing. But by saving it, you don't take scissors and cut the effing thing off. Like, you need experience.
Sorry, just
Agreed.
reading.
So you were gonna touch base on the umbilical?
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing going like back to YouTube. I mean, there's good content out on YouTube and there's bad content on YouTube. Just because someone has lots of followers doesn't mean they know what they're doing. I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but the mistakes I make aren't like tragically major mistakes. Like last year, a mistake I made, I assumed that the tubs that I used for incubating for the last 8 years, I started doubling my clutches, so I needed more. Oh, they don't sell them anymore. They don't make them anymore. Thank you, Rubbermaid. So let me go get another bin. So I went and grabbed other ones from Sterilite, just did them the same way. And all of a sudden I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, there's too much air. They're deflating too fast. And I lost a lot of eggs last year and they were dehydrating too much. Some were molding out. And I fixed that problem this year. Something simple. But I was prepared this year where last year I wasn't. I just assumed any bin would work. Here's a guy that has an animal. Umbilical cord is wrapped around the snake. And, it was so stressful to watch. Instead of, you're in the show. It's just me. So what happens is if I was, and the thing is like I said, I film and I leave it raw. Most people don't. So if I was doing something and I have the choice, it wasn't a live video. So if I'm doing something and I did something that tragic, I'd be like, oh my God, I really screwed up. I wouldn't post that on YouTube to 33,000 people to view because it's heart-wrenching. I would have said, oh my God, I screwed up. But even before that, you're filming. Not live, you're filming. You see that and you're like, oh my God, you know what? Stop the fucking film. Call somebody and say, hey, here's a picture. Here, like, what do I do in this situation? Why did you have to continue to roll? You could have stopped, made a phone call, reached out to many, 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 many people to help them through that. Or he could have just Googled, YouTube umbilical tied around snake, and he would have found something and it would have helped that animal. But instead, no, let's keep shooting. And then he just cuts it and he's like, oh yeah, I think maybe I should have tied it off first. It's not fucking funny, man. I mean, I'm not going to go too much into it, but when you make a mistake, everyone's going to make a mistake. And we're all human. But you didn't have to put it out there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess you got a lot of views, but I mean, it's not. I mean, I wouldn't want those type of views.
No, and that's what I think is the problem with that stuff is people are doing things more for the more for the views that they're getting versus
ridiculous
than the information that is being put out there.
And the worst part is 33,000 subscribers had to watch that. I don't know how many children had to watch that, but people had to watch that. And even me, I mean, wow. I can't even really explain, it was horrible and very preventable. But 33,000 people are watching this guy and thinking he knows because he has a YouTube channel with such a following. Oh, this is how you do stuff. I don't subscribe to his channel and I don't watch him. But I mean, I've seen some comments and some of the stuff he's done even in the past. Not as bad, but it's wrong. Taking animals out of the egg and not even giving them a meal and selling them at an expo, for $100 off because it didn't have well, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you're not doing that animal a service, but you're also not doing your customer a
yeah, the
service.
customer buying them. I mean, it's like, wow. I mean, if you can't create something and give it, you know, a couple months worth of your time and to get it healthy and eating and nurtured the way it has to be, especially handing it over to somebody that's probably new in the hobby or someone that's relatively new, you're not doing our hobby a favor. You're not doing the customer a favor, and you're goddamn well not doing that animal any type of favor. And I'm getting sick of it. And I even said it last night. I'm getting really upset with people selling snakes that are 100 fucking grams. Like, you know, I mean, feed it 3 or 4 more times. You know, spend $5 more in 4 weeks of your time. Are you that? I mean, are you a crackhead and you really need the money for crack? Like, what? Like, you know, what's $5 extra? You know, or if you're breeding them yourself, $2 and another month in a rack. Like, are you really hurting for space? If you are, don't fucking breed as many animals. Like, you
or
know,
invest in your business and buy more racks.
Well, and that's what sets the good breeders apart from the bad breeders is not looking at the bottom line. It's looking at the quality of the animals you're putting out. That you want to make sure that they're going to thrive, they're eating, they're healthy before you send them off somewhere else. They've got all the information. They've got a healthy, well-established animal. That right there is worth so much.
I mean, I love the way my animals are fed and the way I've got a system down over the years that works really well. And I'm really happy, not only for my holdbacks, but for other people's animals. And then when I give them out to people, I mean, I sell 600, 700, 800 animals a year plus. And I'll get maybe 50, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 people call back. It's like, hi, you know, I bought an animal from you at the expo. It hasn't eaten in 3 weeks, hasn't lost any weight. And I'll go over with them. And that's the thing is you'll spend more time with those people that are new to the hobby than you will with people that are buying higher end animals and know what they're doing. It's the people that you invest your time in are the people that are buying those lower end animals because they're new. They need that knowledge. And that's why I spend more time with them. But they'll call me and I'll say, okay, you know, what's your heat at? And it's like, oh, I have it in a, 40-gallon tank and blah, 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 blah. And I have a heat and a ceramic lamp. And I'm like, okay, well, I guarantee you your temperatures are off. What I would recommend is, sealing, 80% of the screen so it keeps the heat and humidity in. I would recommend maybe putting a couple hides in or getting a smaller aquarium for now and then upgrading later. Hides are definitely key. You should try to go to an under tank heat pad on a thermostat. What's a thermostat? Oh my God. I have a heat pad underneath. Yeah, it's great, but he's never on that side. Oh, what's your temperature at? Oh, I'm not sure.
Degrees.
Oh, what's your thermostat set at? What's a thermostat? So what is your heat pad plugged into? Oh, the wall. Oh, there's 130 degrees. Like, you know why the snake isn't over there? Because you're burned to death. So you got to work with the customers and get them in the proper setup. And then, all of a sudden that animal starts thriving and eating because it's giving you've educated that customer and got them the proper equipment or modified what they have so that it's giving the necessities to that snake. And, I couldn't imagine just selling snakes that aren't eating to people. I'd be having 600 frigging phone calls and messages. Hey, Billy, it's not eating. Hey, Billy, the thing died. Hey, Billy, I don't know. It's lost, half of its weight. Like, I don't have time to answer, questions that I can avoid by just feeding it. And I mean, once you sell a snake, the transaction isn't over. You have to be there for customer support, especially if you give a shit about your animals and live animals. I mean, you're going to sit there and take someone's money and then they're having an issue and you're just going to say, screw them. Well, I guarantee you there's a customer and the 5 customers or 10 other people that they talk to are now not customers of yours. The best person to ruin your business is yourself.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, guaranteed.
It frustrates me to no end as on a smaller scale, a snake breeder. I get calls or emails all the time of people coming to me about problems they had with a snake from somebody else. And it's frustrating, but at the same time, I'll never not help them.
Yep.
It's so frustrating that why are you not going to that person? You know what I mean? Like, you went to that person to buy your animal, but why are you not trusting them with the advice? Or if they're not putting in the time, to back up what they've done. I mean, you really got to think about that. Like that really sets that apart. It's just so frustrating.
I think that's a telling thing, though. If you're buying from somebody who's going to discount $100 for a non-feeding animal, they didn't care about the animal in the first place. You think they're going to give you
Definitely
information
not.
when you've got a problem?
Like, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some people that are out there that, I mean, you know it's wrong. I mean, if you're in this business and you know what it takes to get your, I guarantee you would not be bringing your holdback to the expo without a meal in it to shove in it and to show off in the cage or in a display cage. No, there's no way, because, oh my God, that's mine. I wouldn't do that. It could harm it. I want to have 3, 4, 5, 6 meals, making sure it's hearty. Then I'll bring it to show it off. Yeah. So if you have that mentality with your own stuff, why would you not have that with your customers?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. You know, bringing that animal with 1 or 2 meals just to bring to a show and stress the F out just so that you can get some money in your pocket, you're an idiot. I have no respect for you. I really don't. And you know, I'm going to start calling people out because I'm sick of it. You know, yeah, oh, Billy, here's him on a rant. He's whining. You know what? More people should fucking rant and whine, because it's a problem in our industry. And if everybody overlooks it and doesn't look back, more asshats are going to come and do the same stuff and think it's okay to do. It's not okay to do, guys. You know, I know this because I've been through this for 18 years and I've seen asshats come and asshats go, and they're still going to come and go. And you know what? I'm still here, you know, and like me or not, I give a shit about my animals. I do what I do. I'm here to help. I've been doing it since day one. I haven't changed, and I never will. And everyone that's known me way back when, I'm the same way now. I probably have more passion and more dedication now with my business and my animals and my company and reputation and my team and staff and everybody around it. We ain't going anywhere. We're getting stronger, and you haven't seen nothing yet. I'll tell you that.
You really need to be more passionate about this, Billy. Yeah.
No, man, it bugs me, man. Because you know what? These are live animals, and yes, there's money in this business, but we're dealing with live animals, people. Yeah, live animals.
100%.
You know, it's not a shirt that you can sell, you can throw. You don't have to worry about. Oh, it's a little dirty. Okay, I'll wash it. No, man. These animals need our care. You know, they need what. They just, you know, it bugs me, man. It does. It's like I can go off for another hour just on stupid things people do, and it's always about the cash. I'll tell you one thing: you put pride in your animals, you take care of them, you put them out there, and other people are proud, are experience great things with them and having less problems, and they're gonna say, "Oh my God," they're gonna be a repeat customer. Tell other people, "Oh, where did you get that? Oh, this person here. Oh, he was so great to deal with." You're gonna make more money in the long run, you idiot, than trying to just, you know, throw them out and make quick cash. Quick cash in any business is not. I'd rather have the long-term goals, you know, and I know that because I'm here 18 years later and I'm stronger than ever. And you think I'm doing well now? Wait till you see me next year, the year after. The stuff I have grown up in my racks, you know, and that's the thing, is I'm building for the future, not building for today.
Yeah.
You know,
big picture is so important. You have to look at a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, not that sale right now. Who gives a crap about that? I want somebody to be happy.
People that don't give a shit about the animals.
I think somebody else has a better animal than what I've got. Go talk to that guy with what he's got. This is what you're looking for. This isn't what you're looking for. Yep. And that's, people remember that. And it's, you got to look at again, when you've been around a long enough time, that all comes back around. They remember who set them straight, who sent them in the right direction.
70% will.
Yeah.
There's still people out there that, is it echoing again?
No, I don't. Oh. I don't think so.
Nope.
So there's people out there that just won't understand. Oh, they shop because of the price. I'll tell you right now, people, if you're shopping for live animals for your collection or for your breeding plans and you're buying because of price, you're an idiot.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you got to buy because of the quality, the person representing that animal, the time that they give to you. You know, you should get out, and I recommend people going to shows. You know, don't just spam a bunch of people with a bunch of random questions and see who spends so much time with you. That's not cool. But you know, go to shows, reach out, be a part of the community, see other people, see their faces, see their animals, see how they set their you know, are they professional looking? Did they give a shit setting up their booth, or they just threw something on the table? You know, you want to be able to talk to them and say, hey man, were they helpful? Were they nice? Were they pleasant? Or did they treat you like crap? You know, you take that in, and you know what? If somebody treated me like crap and they didn't really present themselves or their animals properly, I'd rather pay $50 to $100 more for an animal from someone else that gave a shit, that I felt comfortable with and that actually cared. You know why? Because I want to promote that person for the future to be around instead of asshats.
Yeah.
You know, and people don't get it. You know, oh, I'm going to save $50 to $100. Yeah. Well, what happens when it doesn't eat and no one's going to respond to you? Oh, you reach out to guys like Billy from Mutation Creation and he'll help you. Well, I'm getting sick of it, guys.
Yeah.
You know, do your homework. You know?
And it sucks when you get the people who have the problems with those breeders, and then they turn to you because they think they can take advantage of your your willingness to help these people regardless if they bought from you or not. At some point, that, I mean, in my own personal opinion, I don't mind giving people some advice here and there, but when I feel like I'm being taken advantage of, then I start having a problem.
Yeah, and it's funny because people don't realize they're taking advantage of you. Like, you know, they think that we're just sitting around because, you know, we have nothing better to do, wait for to answer people's calls. Like, we're swamped, man. We're busy all the time. And you know, people don't get behind the scenes and understand that unless you're a breeder and you have like 50 plus animals and you're like, wow, you know, it takes me such and such amount of hours to do this with the 50 that I have. Can't even imagine 1,600. Like, you know, people get that. But when you have 2 or 3 or 5 snakes, or you're just starting out, you know, and have respect for the breeder. You know, don't sit there and bomb them with 1,000 questions or wasting their time. You know, High Desert Pythons did a sort of like a spoof YouTube video. And, you know, he was doing, I think, 3 or 4 different scenarios that he went through, and he had it acted out. And, you know, people are asking him questions. Can I take a picture of this? And you're responding and you're giving them the birth date and the weight and everything else. And it's like, okay, yeah, let me talk to the wife and see if it's okay. They'll never be back, you know.
Or when,
why don't you ask the wife first
and they got in an accident, or like, man, if you had a YouTube channel of excuses you've heard over the years, like, oh my God.
We should do that at one point. Just have
a thing called stupid YouTube comments of the week.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna rip people. You know, I mean, you want to do stupid stuff, like, you know, I'll just call you out on it. I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah,
you know, I might lose some subscribers, but, you know, I might gain some. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative, but I mean, it's here, people. You know, if it wasn't there, I wouldn't have to address it. But you know what? There's people that are doing shitty stuff and doing wrong things in this hobby. And I've seen it for 18 years. It ain't going away unless people stand up and make people feel that, hey, you know what? If I do something stupid, I'm going to get, you know, some recourse. And if that's me ripping your ass apart on friggin' YouTube, that's what the recourse is going to be. I'm getting sick of it. And if people don't like it or think I'm whining too much, cool. You know what? Don't give a shit. I really don't, you know, because you're going to be that person calling me going, oh, this person bought this and I did this. Wham. Well, you know what? If we let this keep sliding, this industry is getting bigger and bigger. More people are getting in as scam artists. More people are stealing people's stuff. There's so much crap going on behind the scenes and in front of people's faces, and people just, I don't want to get involved. Oh, I don't want to cause more drama. We have enough. So what? Fucking drama's great. Let's just let it keep sliding. Let's just swim in the drama shit floating around. No, I don't like swimming in drama shit. You know, I'm on the island and I see it and I want to stop it, you know, and you know, people don't like it. I really don't care, because I didn't get to where I am by listening to what other people and how they care. I went with my gut, how I feel, how I believe, my passion, what I wanted to do. Here I am.
Yeah.
So, you know, no one can tell me that I've done things wrong, because look where I'm at, and that's it. So.
Yeah, and ultimately, that's the best. You know, at the end of the day, you can lay your head in your pillow knowing you've done your best. You've done stuff the right way, and you don't like nobody should put up with that kind of crap either. So.
Yeah, and people are going to get taken advantage of, and that's why I'm testing people. I'm not testing people. I'm teaching people. Yeah. Look for the red flags. You know, if something's too good to be true, it probably is. You know,
Yeah.
when people send you pictures of an animal you're requesting, and you know every picture is on a different background with different lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, like, oh, well, shit. What did you do? A photo shoot for 7 hours with your stock, like in different, you know, oh, let me try this background today. Oh, let me put it on Pebble. Let me put it on some Aspen. Oh, now my tubs are ARS all of a sudden from plastic melamine, you know, or PVC. Like, you know, I mean, like, think about it. Like, it's crazy, the stuff that's right in front of your face, but you don't visually see it because, oh my God, it's $400. Stop buying because of price.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
and smart people. There's so many smart people now. It's like, oh, you know what? In a Facebook group, you know, hey everybody, I'm looking at purchasing a snake from so and so. You know, should I or shouldn't I? Any news? Blah blah blah. And then you get to see other people's, you know, and hopefully they're truthful. You know, you don't want people, they're just sabotaging people because they're just asshats or they're jealous. But if you go and you get 50 comments and 45 of them are positive and 5 are negative, okay. I mean, I'm sure I have negative, you know, out of the thousands and thousands and thousands.
We all make mistakes. That's
100%. And not every transaction. I mean, there's 2 sides to the story, you know. But if there's 5 people out of 50 that are negative, I feel confident purchasing from that person. But if there's 45 people that are negative and 5 people that are positive, and you buy an animal and it's a shit show, you're an idiot. Like,
yeah. And stuff, you know, there's always situations where stuff's going to go wrong, and it's how you deal with that is really what sets people apart. You know, how you handle that, how you approach it, everything you try and do to try and help the situation, that sets people apart.
Yeah, and you know what? You try to be as professional as much as you want to tear them a new ass. You know, I've had a few where I've put up on a BOI. Here you go. Look what I've dealt with. Yeah. People are like, oh my God, Billy, like I would have, you know, cut the cord a long time ago. Like, I can't believe, wow, I would have lost my shit. And you gotta be professional, even though you know, it's your business. And you know, nowadays you got to watch how you speak, what you say. I mean, people are just, there's too many snowflakes out there. You got to, you know, sort of, you know, tiptoe on the dance floor and not make a sound. I mean, it's horrible, but I mean, you have to watch and do things that, you know, keeps your name and your integrity and everything else in check.
I think that's one of the hardest things for me. Like, I know, you know, we aren't perfect and nobody is, but
100%.
Like, I will give my customers the benefit of the doubt. Like, as long as you give me a chance to fix the problem. Like, it's shitty from both sides when something happens, but like, at least give me a chance to fix the problem. Like, I've had a few customers where, like, immediately to Google reviews. Like, you didn't even contact me to fix the problem.
Or like, a year later, without having said a word, a year goes by. Like, at least if there's an issue, please bring it to us. Like, we'll do everything we can to fix it. We'll go out of our way
too, is to help people don't understand like simple, I don't know, common sense. If you buy something from Walmart and you bring it home, you plug it in, it doesn't work, you leave it there for a year and then put a review on? No, you take it the F back, you go to customer service, you get a new one, and you get your money back.
Yeah.
Common sense.
You give them a chance to
do that with live animals. Let it sit there and not eat for 6-7 months. Let it die. Don't say nothing, and then get pissed off at the person. Like, you know what? You should look in the mirror and get pissed off at yourself, people. Yeah. Like, common sense goes a long friggin' way.
Or completely ignore the advice you've given them and do something because a friend of theirs who's an expert knows better and says, well, but my friend said to do this. Well, did your friend produce this animal? No. Like,
talk to the source.
Talk to the source.
And here's the thing: if you listen to my lives, my podcast, my YouTube, I give advice and what I say, what works for me. It could work for you. I don't know. You know how I do coconut in my facility with all my animals. And I try to raise the humidity because I need it, you know, 50, 60 and higher sometimes in the tub. People in California or Texas, they've got 90 to 100. They're trying to pump that shit out. So they can't use coconut husk. So if you're sitting there going, oh, well, Billy said to use coconut husk, you know, and you do, and you're in Texas and stuff, and not good.
It's gonna work.
Do what works for you. And you know how? Test it out. See how your animals react. See how you like it. See what works for you, and then be the judge of it.
Yeah.
You also have to give it time. You don't, like, after literally 2 days say it's not working. Like, come on.
Yeah, you got to give it time. Like, you know, everyone's like, hey, Billy, you know, the new coconut husk, how's the review? You know what? I've had it for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
I can't get, you know, I need a couple months, you know, to see and abuse it and watch them shit and piss all over it, see how it absorbs, see how it colors up. See, you know what? I do a review after utilizing it and finding it where I know for myself, you know, oh, but I got to get a content out. I need YouTube. You know, everyone wants it. That's what they want. You know what? It's not what they want. What they want is the fucking truth, and I can't give it to you now. You're gonna have to wait for it. Because if I spit something out just to give you content, guess what? It's false.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everyone's in a rush to put shit up on TV. Oh, wow. Like, you know what? Like, I mean, I love my supporters. I love my views. I mean, I do well with social media, but you know what? My animals come first. You know, some people go, hey, Billy, it's been a week. How come you haven't put a video up? Because I was short staffed. Something's going on. We've, you know, we're too busy. You know, YouTube comes second behind my animals. My animals, the cleaning, the production, the feeding, the general maintenance, whatever we do is first. If we have time to shoot a video, awesome. But YouTube and everything else is not a priority. And you know, it never will be. And that's it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny because like for us, like everybody keeps saying, like, when are you guys coming out with another show? Like, and so, you know, obviously we say we didn't get renewed, and well, then you should do YouTube. We are so far behind right now. We don't have time to stop and film stuff. So like we do this stuff on, like, in the evenings when we're not working, and we enjoy doing it. Like, so if we were to stop, like, we get half the production if we needed to make YouTube videos, and I'd love to do it, but we don't have the time and we don't have the money to pay somebody to do it for us. So
people think that YouTube makes you rich. You know what? You know, I mean, I do well with my platforms. I mean, I do really well, but I mean, we put a lot of time in. We have the content. We you know, it's not the same thing every day. Well, yeah, it's a bunch of you know, grown adults freaking out and cursing and racing and cutting eggs. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't, I don't know, you know, but
people have to think of perspective in that sense as well. Like, that's great that you've done really well on social media, and you've done it very well, but there's also a million other people who are also doing it and getting nothing from it.
Correct. And you know what? If I had to choose, if someone said, hey, Billy, would you take your social media money or your snake money? I make 100 times more of my snakes. You know, it's people think, oh, I mean, you know, in order to make a living off of YouTube, you need millions of subscribers. Like Brian Barczyk is probably, you know, I mean, he's doing well, but he's got millions and millions of subscribers. He's got content that's different on a daily basis. The amount of work and equipment and time, I mean, it's
yeah. Well, you know, and
how easy it is.
One thing you're not even adding to that is the hate that follows once you get that many followers.
100%. And I mean, you know what? I mean, you know, everyone's done something shitty in their past. You know, it's in the past. If people have learned from it, and you know what?
I continually do stupid things.
Yeah, I mean, we all do. But the thing is, I mean, you know what? You can hold something that someone did 5, 6, 10 years ago. Keep, like, you know what? Grow up and move on. Like, people change. Well, most of them can. You know, if they don't, then hey, guess what? Then they're always a POS. But you know, it's just like, you know, people are so. People would rather spend more time negative than positive. And like I say, I mean, I give a lot of shout outs to people. I love my sticker sealing. I love promoting the new people into the hobby, even people that have been in it. You know, I've done my whole ceiling with stickers. It looks awesome. People come in and it's just like, holy Christ, I got like 2,000 stickers on a like a 8 by 10 foot ceiling. It looks cool. I mean, it's just, I love it. You know?
I think, you know what? I think that was a great idea, and I'm envious. I mean, we've talked about doing it just because I like the idea, and at the same time, it's not just for you. It's, you're actually doing a service to the community with doing that, and you're giving shout outs, and those people should appreciate that. I'm sure they
do. I mean, like, the people that send it in, they're so, I mean, they share it on their stories. I get so much beautiful mail and messages. And you know what? It took me all of a minute to open my mouth and say, hey, I want to give a shout out to this person. I'm wearing a shirt. I want to, look at this sticker.
Think of the savings from having to buy T-shirts now.
It's like, I mean, they're sending them out to the staff now. Austin, King Austin, Lord of Lion. I mean, they're reaching out.
I'm wearing my Sunday best today.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, look at you, all fancy dancy. You got this guy here beside you.
I'm looking for rustic furniture. I go to Sawdust and Smoke.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I got a question here too. So Mandy Eggerman was asking, so what about breeders who reach out to you after their purchase and ask for videos or photos and then use those to promote their own business?
You know what? I got to be careful how I personally, I mean, I have enough animals in my facility and I take a lot of footage and I always have my own content. I think it's more beneficial for your own support or your own, growth of your business or putting it out there for advertising. If somebody does it for you, I mean, when I sell an animal, people are like, wow, even my stickers, my shirts. Hey, Billy, thanks. Billy and the crew, guys. Hey, they'll make a story or they'll make a post and they thank you very much. Yeah. They tag Lord of Lion, tag Austin, Chris Ward from the reptile ward, and even Chris, I just said Chris, Tyler from, I'm going to screw it up, Hyped Up Morphs. I think I got it. No, it's reptile. Damn it. Just joking. I always screw around. But they tag us and they promote it and other people. I mean, I don't need to brag that I sold an animal to a person. I want that person to, get that animal and be like, wow, and promote it themselves. I mean, I don't think that's good. If anything, I'll share that story on my own Facebook or my own Instagram. I'll share their story from their highlight and their excitement. I don't need to call them later on and say, hey, man, can you send me some pics? Or, I think it's good to call a customer back if you have time and say, hey, how you doing? It's been 3 weeks. I mean, I think that's great. I actually wanted to implement that a while back. It's just, it's a lot of work and calling someone up like, hey, how you doing? How's the animal? It's been 3 weeks. Haven't heard from you. Hope everything's well. Like a courtesy call. I think that is great. I think over the top. Not very easy to implement, especially when you're doing hundreds of animals all over the world, different time zones. I'd have to have a person just for that. But I don't think I would request pictures and updates for my personal,
It's nice when it's organic. Like as somebody who, again, is breeding stuff for a long time, it's so nice when somebody takes the time to contact you out of the blue, reach out, say, hey, this animal I bought from you is thriving. It's doing great. Here's some pictures. Like, I love that.
It's amazing. Yeah. Or they call you back and say, hey, the other one's done so well. I want to buy some more. That's the best feeling, as well as knowing that because you put that effort and time into your customer, into that animal, it's thriving at their place, that they want to, call you back for a future purchase because it was such a smooth, great transaction from start to finish. People don't get that.
No. And it's the same thing. Like, I had one issue that I can think back on that in the feedback from other people when it was posted is that why didn't I reach out to make sure they were happy with their purchase? Like, as a business owner who does a lot of volume, if I were to do that, I wouldn't have any time in the day to do the production.
Full-time job on its own.
The one thing I wanted to touch on is, like, I want those positive reviews that are organic. I have never once ever asked somebody to give me a Google review.
Yeah. Hell no.
Like it's crazy the amount of people that actually do that ask for that positive review. If they feel like they need to, I'm very thankful that they did. But I will never ask for somebody to do a review and almost force their hand in saying that they need to do that.
Yep. No, I mean, I totally agree with you. That is, no, I mean, things should come naturally. If someone wants to give you a review, you know, I mean, anybody can buy a review. Anybody can force someone. I mean, I could go open 20 accounts and, you know, blow myself up if I want and make myself look good. But reality, are you really doing yourself any favors?
Because long term, that doesn't play out.
No.
Like people
People
very
don't
quickly
think about
feel
long
it's
term.
bullshit.
You know, that's the thing. People think of now. What can I do now to make me look like I'm growing? Look at the followers. Oh, let me buy some. Let me do this. It's all fake.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what gets you followers? Time, dedication, making those animals, putting in the work, getting that information and the knowledge and the experience. It comes. There's no race. Yeah. You really give a shit if you have 2,000 followers today or 2,000 followers in 6 months?
It's usually doing the work short term.
The 2,000 followers in 6 months are actually true followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to put in the short term work. It's the long term stuff that pays off, and that's what shows.
I've been that. What can I do this year to do something to make a difference? Yeah. I've been that many, many times. 7 years ago, I realized. No, maybe 8 years ago, I realized. You know what? I need to get stuff for down the road, not for today and not for this year. When I changed my mindset, I think it was 2011, 2012. Oh, let me take this clown. Let's make more clowns. Nope, let's put it to a combo desert, a combo hypo. And then I started making double hets. Now, I mean, I think this year I'm going to probably hit 20 or 30 combo visual, recessive ghost clowns. Combos, probably 20 or 30 visuals, animals, because I've built my collection since 2012. 4 years. It took me 3 years to raise them up, and 3 years I bred them and I missed. I got ghost 66% het clowns, and then clown 66% het ghost with some combos. 3 years, probably 7 or 8 clutches. I'm like, fuck, 1 in 16, I can't hit one in all these clutches. And then
you mean you didn't pack it in and just give up?
Yeah,
almost, man. But 2018, I actually had a clutch and I hit 3 in 1 clutch. I'm like, what the hell? How the fuck?
That's how it goes.
Yeah. And then now, I mean, last year I think I hit 7, 8, maybe 9. This year I'm it's the numbers, because I put that work in.
Yeah.
I don't know, if you wanted to make ghost clowns next year, I mean, if you don't have animals that you made 2-3 years ago in your rack growing up, you're not going to make it.
No,
because no one's going to go sell you. You're not going to go buy a ghost pied visual female. No, I would never sell mine. I'm raising some more up just to get to that size. So I can my odds are even better. 1 in 4, 1 in 2, and eventually it'll be like ghost clown combo to ghost clown combo and everything's a ghost clown. But you got to work there. You can't just get there overnight, man. I mean, people, you got to think. I'll tell you this is the best advice I can give anybody out there, whether they're new, whether they've been doing this for 15 years. If you're not doing something in your business for 2-3 years down the road, you're not doing yourself any favor. You need to think ahead. You need to plan ahead. You need to do things. If you think in the now, you're going to stay in the now. You need to think ahead. And yes, it sucks waiting, but wow. I mean, if I didn't do that in 2012 and 13 and keep making those combos, I mean, who's going to make 30 visual ghost clowns this year? Combos. There's probably 5 or 6 people, maybe 10 people in the world that can, because they had the same mentality that I did, and I'm doing that now. I've got triple recessive, quadruple recessives growing up. I should have my first quadruple to quadruple next year or late this year. Only one person in the world, Justin Kabilka, has done that last year, quad to quad. I can next year, and multiple ones. And I'm making more this year. I got, it's thinking ahead, like he did. You know why he did the first quad to quad? Because he thought years ago to make it. And it sucks waiting.
It takes a lot of pre-planning, but you got to raise them up, grow them up.
It's called patience, people. Yeah. You need some.
So I got a question here for you. What is your favorite project to date that you've worked with?
Oh,
not
I have so many.
The biggest, the best, or most impressive, but your personal favorite, which could be.
Well, my personal
field, normal,
is my freeway, my asphalt, super asphalt freeway stuff. I've been working with it now for, this is my 11th year. You know, I got my first one in 2009, 2000 and I think 14. I bought all of Todd Constable's collection, and took it from there. I just love it. It's still, you know, people are making them now for the first time and they're freaking out. And I know the feeling because they're just amazing. Some of the combos coming out now, the super asphalt combos, you know, freeway pieds, freeway clowns are going to be a lot more coming out now, not just by myself, but from other people that are in the project as well. So we're going to see that go to new levels, and different variations coming in, which is going to excite me and you know, make me keep pushing the project forward. But for something new, anything Desert Ghost and Enhancer. I mean, I love the gene. You know, it's been in front of me for many, many years, and I'm like, now some of the stuff coming out, I'm so glad I'm heavy invested in it, and the stuff that's coming out over the next few years and what people are making is just amazing. So it works with everything that I love. You know, it just enhances, cleans everything up. You know, the older it gets, the better it gets. You know, it's what we've been craving for in all these years, making an animal look as good, if not better, than a baby when it's an adult.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
Well, bigger and better. I mean, that's what you're striving for, is every step along the way, there's an improvement.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know what's great about Desert Ghost stuff and Enhancer stuff? When it sheds, it gets better. So every time you see it, the longer you wait, the better it gets. So it's like, you know, wow. Where normally it's like, wow, look at that as a baby. And then 6 months later, it's like, oh shit, it's browned out, or oh, look at the colors have faded. So it's definitely something, especially in a game or a hobby, that, you know, we have to have the patience. We have to wait years in order for it to get, you know, grow up the size and breed. It's the gene that keeps getting you exciting during that long wait.
So before we wrap this up, because we could literally sit here all night and take up all your time. So thanks so much for being so generous with your time.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to everybody out there, or put out there? Like, what, some last words here from Billy?
You know, there's many. Yeah, there's many, but I would just say, you know what, wherever you are, whether you're a small breeder in your basement, in your room, a breeder that's invested a lot of money, and hasn't figured it out yet, and ready to give up, or, you know, don't listen to people saying that there's no money in this market. You know, this market's thriving. I've been through two, you know, recessions and a pandemic, and we're thriving. You know, it's pandemic proof. It's, you know, there's no cap. The creativity is just starting to come in. I mean, we've been creative with these animals for so many years. It's mind blowing every year that, you know, we can make this even better. Like, this is nuts. New genes coming in, and you know, getting, you know, crossed with other genes. There's no cap. You know, your passion, for someone that's been in this for so long, it hasn't fizzled. I mean, not everybody will be as passionate as other people, but it's something that keeps me interested. You know, don't give up. You're going to have some shitty times. You're going to have some clutches that just, you know, the females stop eating. I mean, it's not all rainbows and you know, it's frustrating.
Days, that's,
put the time in. You put that time in. I mean, you know, and I hope by me giving people shout outs and opportunities to, you know, to network and, you know, give out information. I hope that I can, you know, help them, you know, get to that next step to where, you know, something positive comes in. You know, don't be so negative. Don't listen to people. If somebody is, and get into circles where they're not pulling you down, because I've been in that mess, and I'm sure many people have. And it's not just in this industry, it's in everything. It's in general life. If you start succeeding, you know, other people will sabotage you, will try to pull you back down because, you know, of your success. You know, get away from those people, and you know, they're in front of you, and you know it, you just can't accept it. If people, you know, aren't there to push you forward, they're there to pull you back, and you don't want those type of people around. People have told me from day one, there's no money in this business. It's oversaturated. Nah, you'll never do this. You'll never do that. If I listened to them, I wouldn't be here right now. And, stay positive, keep pushing through. There's good and bad to this hobby, like everything else. If you put the time in, you learn more, you educate yourself, it will come. Because the first 6 to 8 years, I got my ass handed to me, man. Like it was like, wow, these breeder females were ready to breed. And what do you mean they're males? Like, oh, I'll start all over 3 years down the road and all that money out. You're not going to always hit the females you want. You're not always going to get the odds you want. And I show that live on YouTube and I'm real. Oh shit, they're all males. Oh my God, I missed. Oh, this animal was supposed to be ahead. Guess what? She's not. I got ripped off. Oh, well, it's reality. It's going to happen. It happens to the best of us. And I just want everybody to know that what happens to you happens to us. I just admit it. There's no way somebody out there has been, who breeds that, oh, I never get slugs. Oh, I've never had this. This has never happened. Oh, I've never had an animal die on me. That's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It happens. And you got to realize there's reality to this. There's a lot of beautiful things, amazing things that happen, and it's great, and it's worth every second and minute and year and effort that you put into this hobby. But you got to realize that there's a shitty side to it too, and just be prepared. And if you're doing things right and you educate yourself and you get experience, those negatives can turn more into positives. And just keep plugging through, because there's amazing people in it. There's amazing, things that you get out of it. What I do with my snakes and that gives me, my income. It gives me my collection going to the next level. But this YouTube and being a social media presence, it's helped me inspire people. And then, as much hate that I get way more love. And some of the stories that I get, from these people, it's better than the money that I make at beating ball pythons. I mean, it's amazing how, just my passion and being me and real and just putting it out there. I can inspire people and help people get to somewhere where they probably wouldn't if I wasn't giving that information. And I'm just glad I can do that. And be, someone in this hobby that's not just a guy that's doing well with breeding ball pythons. I'm actually there supporting people and helping them and hopefully, educating them enough so that they can educate other people and sort of, duplicate what I'm doing so that it just makes this hobby a lot better and happier and a nicer place and more people doing better than failing. So,
well, I think, the ultimate goal is to expand the industry and to share our
people are not successful.
And to make it better than it was before.
Yeah.
It's always improving, right? You're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. Nothing stays the same.
Correct. And what's good about social media and stuff like this is people are interacting. Some people will watch this and heard me say this 40, 50 things that I've said. They've heard 49 of them, but there's one thing that I might have said tonight. It's like, oh shit, wow, let me look into it. And it changes. One little thing can change something that I say. And not everything I say is always the same. I mean, it's pretty damn repetitive, but there's always something that comes out, or a belief, or someone might watch this and go, holy shit, Billy is really passionate about these fucking ass hats. And you know what? Wow. And when I say I'm going to start calling people out, I already have in some cases, because I do think as much drama that goes on in our industry, we can't just act like it's not there. We can't, because you know what? Other people go, oh, well, if he got away with it, then I can get away with it. And people have a shitty fucking attitude and mentality towards it. And it's got to stop. If you do something shitty, you're going to get called out for it.
Yeah.
No? And, you're a bully. You're a bully. No, I'm not a bully. Oh, I guess I am a bully. I'm bullying for the people that you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do something stupid and you, I don't know. Just
well, here's the thing too. So like, it's very easy to get caught up. Like you can hear 10 positive things and one negative thing, and people want to key in on the negative thing.
100%.
It's imperative that we really try to look for the positives, but we really have to call out. We see something bad, we see something negative, it needs to be addressed.
Yep.
but you also can't dwell on that. You've really got to look at the positives and push forward with those. And I will say, I think I said it earlier as well, but this isn't a put on. What you see is what you get with Billy. He's clearly very passionate, very knowledgeable, fantastic guy. So where can people find you and follow you with your Patreon, your YouTube, all that stuff?
When I'm not smoking crack.
Yeah, exactly. Where can they find you online, Billy? I mean, they already know, but
Yeah. Everything's Mutation Creation Canada. Instagram, YouTube. My website is mutationcreation.com. Patreon is Mutation Creation Canada. And that's it.
Yeah. But this isn't a put on. Like we've spent time with this guy on the weekend at WCRE. This is the real man. This isn't a caricature, or he's not playing.
It's funny because when people come to the facility, it's like, oh my God, you're the same way on YouTube. Yeah. I don't change, man. Because if I could change, I'd sort of be able to tone it down a little so I wouldn't get so much goddamn, hate. I mean, if I could tone it down and be like, hi, this is Billy from Mutation Creation. Yeah. Slow and playing in the background. Take that out, edit it out. Oh, oops, I flinched a little, or I shake my hands a little. Oh, you know what? Take that out because I want people not to judge me for who I am. Well, this is how I am. And you know what? I mean, I started doing stuff back and I'm like, you know what? It's harder for me to try to do something script than it is. Wow. And I screw up. I spell names wrong, or I say names wrong. I used to call my sticker ceiling a sticker wall. I make a mistake, man. It's better than, to me, you're talking, all this editing, I mean, like, shoot, man. Yeah. So that's
true passion. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. It shows, and it's there, man. So
and you know what, my I guess not my deficiencies, but these things that people call disabilities. I mean, I haven't let my ADHD and my OCD or anything else stop me from where I want to go, or what I'm doing, or what I love, or how I'm doing it. And, I'm not doing YouTube for people to love me or like me. I mean, I love the support, but I'm there to show what I love and what I do and document it. And another thing people don't know is a lot of times too, people will call you up and say, hey, I want to buy a snake, or, can you send me pictures of the parents? Can you show me pictures of it on eggs? And I used to do that. And then all of a sudden you see people selling an animal. Oh, what were the parents? And they're showing you the parents of, so they're collecting data for them to scam other people. So now when people ask me, it's like, no, I don't send pictures of it. You can either look for it on YouTube or on Instagram, or you can watch me cut on YouTube. Because you know what, if you're going to take, my YouTube content with my, tattooed hands and my shaking hands and my screwed up languages and fucking up all the time, and you're going to edit that and say, hey, yeah, this is what I produced. Oh, that looks like Mutation Creation. If you're going to sit there and edit out my YouTube to try to scam people, you need something better than Lord of Lion, because he's awesome at what he does. You're going to have to edit the shit out of that in order to take my hands out, because I'm always touching it or moving, or, So you want to see how I produced it? There's my animals, because you're not taking pictures that I have and then, scamming other people with it. And unfortunately, I mean, not many people realize that that's one of the reasons why I started YouTube, is so that I could document it and actually have pictures, because people were stealing my pictures and, hey, Billy, isn't that your animal? I'm like, yeah, why? How did you get that picture? It's like, I don't know. It's someone selling these animals and these are the parents. I'm like, I fucking still have them. So, I mean, I'm doing things behind the scene that people don't realize. And YouTube just turned into something, that I can't even believe. I got 43,000 people that watch me and support me. And I love it. And I truly appreciate it. But yeah, I wasn't doing it to become, I want to be a YouTube people and a person and, because it's a lot of work, people. I mean,
no, but I mean, the biggest thing is just, it's just another avenue for the people who are truly passionate to share their passion. And I mean, like, it's great. And it's great that there are people out there that are willing to do that and not be about fame and
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, even for us, like, we were excited getting the show, but we didn't pitch the show. We didn't try to promote to get the show. Like, it fell into our lap and we were lucky, but
it was work. Like,
Yeah.
people think it's just magic. Oh yeah,
That's
Yeah.
a whole
an hour. No,
That's a
fuck,
whole
4 days
other ball of
straight.
wax.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, even behind the scenes of keeping a collection of the size of mine, or even half the size of
Absolutely.
mine, they just don't see the back end. They just see, oh, look at the money they're making. Oh,
They
look at
see the results. Yeah.
that's all they see. And
Work into it.
when you get into this and you start being serious, you're going to know and you're going to respect when people put out a price on an animal, because it took them 5 years to finally hit the damn thing. You're going to appreciate that animal and what they paid because of the work and everything that went behind that. Their investment, their time, the quality, and you'll get that. I mean, a lot of things that people say and we try to teach, you will learn that yourself. If you have, any type of common sense in your head, you will see like how long it took you to hit something. And then you put it out there for a proper price and people, oh, would you take half price for it? Like, are you fucking kidding me? You're going to learn this the hard way. And you're going to realize it's like, damn, I was an ass back in the day when I used to lowball people. You respect and and understand why we do this. It's not because we're doing it because we have so many and we just want to get rich. I do this for money because I need to support. I mean, I spend $10,000 a month feeding my snakes. If I'm not selling more than $10,000 a month, I'm not feeding my snakes.
You're in big trouble. Yeah.
And everything else on top and on top and on top. So, I have to make money. You know what? And there's nothing wrong with making money selling animals. You put the work in, you invest, you put the time in, you care about them. Why can't we get paid for what we do?
yeah, well, and that's the hard part with doing something as a business. And when people criticize that you're only in it for the money, like if people actually realize the work that you have to put in to make that money,
Yep.
at the end of the day, you're actually not making that much money for the effort that you're putting out.
Well, let me correct you there. At my level where I'm at, it's paid for all those years that I suffered. But now I do extremely well. And the things that are coming and Lord of Lion and Austin, things are coming for them. They've, Austin just started his own King Austin YouTube channel. So things are coming in, new equipment, more stuff. We're growing and we're doing really well. We're looking at probably getting a bigger facility, probably 5 times the size, with other stuff being involved in the next year or two. So we're already thinking ahead. But, the first, it depends on how you start. But I mean, the first, say 12, 13, maybe the first 12 years, I was breaking even, losing money, this and that. Now where I've learned and I've established my collection, I've established my name, my reputation, transport methods worldwide, YouTube and other avenues of income. Now it was worth those 18 years to where I'm at now. So, it's phenomenal, but it took me 18 years to learn, dedication, time, mistakes, learning from them, researching, building a brand, getting animals, being able to produce and duplicate it year after year and grow. I didn't do this overnight, people. I didn't buy my way into here. I busted my balls to get here, no pun intended. And now that I'm here 18 years later, I deserve what's coming in for what I've put in and what I'm doing and where I'm going. So, it's not going to come easy. It's not going to come fast. But when it does come, it's worth it, especially if you're getting the enjoyment of these animals and everything in it along the way. People lose that,
Yeah. And
Because
it's an ongoing process too. You're always learning, you're always evolving. Like there's always stuff you're learning. As soon as somebody starts trying to say they're an expert or know everything, that's the first person you run away from.
Yeah.
Yep. And here's the thing too.
The more you know, you don't know.
It's like this a lot. If I told someone, hey, I'll give you $100,000 today, or you wait 10 years and I'll give you 10 million. Most people are dumb and they'll take the 100,000 today because they don't want to wait 10 years for the 10 million.
Yeah.
Stupid. It's the same thing in this business, in this hobby.
Are you offering, just asking for a friend?
No.
Greg's going to take you up on that offer right now.
Well, that's what he's done because, for $2 million, I could have you taken out at year 9.
I've written that down.
Yeah.
I'll learn next
No,
time.
if you invest money now, okay, it's going to come. It's going to turn into, that $10 million down the road. It's going to be, but you got to get there. You got to enjoy getting there. You got to learn and grow and keep moving forward to get to that, 10-year mark. So it's the same sort of logic. You invest now and 10 years, if you do it right and build, you can get a substantial amount out of it. But if you're not happy and excited and you're not going to put 10 years in here, scraping and feeding rats and cleaning, snake shit and putting up with the drama and all this other stuff. If you don't love what you do, I can guarantee you that you're not going to last 2 years, never mind fucking 10. I know that for a fact because I've seen people come and go faster than they came. And that's just reality. I enjoy looking at my tubs. I mean, sometimes I spend more time in the facility and I open up like, holy shit, what's this? How do I have that? I have one of these. Like I'm finding shit in my own collection I never knew I had. So, I mean, it's just awesome, and then when things change and like, oh my God, look how great it is now. And oh my God, it's breeding size. Oh my God, I can put this male into breeding, and now I get there and I start figuring out what I can put him to. It's like, it's exciting. If you don't have that, you ain't going to last. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
It's finding that joy. It's being passionate, and it's looking big picture, long term. It's looking at down the road, not right now, and that's really the key.
100%. Think for the future. If you're thinking for now, you're gonna stay in the now. And trust me, you don't want to. I've been there and I've done that many times. And when I finally realized how do these people get these animals and how are they on eggs? Like, because they made them and grew them up. So that's what I started doing. And you know what? It's the best advice I've probably have extracted from watching others. And it's something that I pass on to other people. And it makes sense. So, but there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff you're going to learn, a lot of stuff that I can teach you, other people can teach you. But experience is key. You can't buy it. You can't, I can't wrap it up and sell it. You got to physically and be there. But if I can help you make, not make the mistakes I did, it helps a hell of a lot because you're going to make mistakes that you don't even know you could make, silly.
I think the key to that is also listening and being willing to take advice and criticism as well. I think that's the biggest thing is being open to realizing you've made mistakes and somebody might be the one to tell you to it or tell you that you have made that mistake and learn from it.
And if you make a major mistake, don't fucking put it on YouTube.
Make those mistakes private.
Talking about giving scissors a bad name. What the fuck? Come on, man.
All right. Well, I think this is probably before we get on another tangent is the best time to wrap this up.
Yes, guys.
But we really appreciate you coming on our live tonight and hope to have you on in the future. And 2021 is, hopefully a better year for all of us. And we hope to see you in Red Deer.
It's always awesome.
I was looking forward to it. I was definitely coming this year, man. I had a great time and seeing, all the vendors out there, and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, well, we look forward to next year and big things in the future for you and for everybody out there. So
thank you.
Thanks for joining us. And
one more thing. Have you started my incubators yet?
Oh shit! No, we can't. Quick, turn it off. Turn it off. They're definitely in the queue.
Your other batch of incubators.
Yeah. They're. I'm thinking that they're going into production next week.
Yeah. No worries. I mean, as long as they're within the next month or so.
Yeah.
I'm running out of room, boys.
We got you. We need another YouTube video.
Yep. Not soliciting reviews or anything, but yeah.
All right, thanks.
I appreciate you having me on, and everybody watching. Thanks for putting up with me, and hope I, give some good advice. And it's something that I believe in, and I've been doing this for a while. And what I say is I'm actually saying it because I want people to listen because it's real. It's something that I've done. I haven't just done things one way. I've done them many ways. And I've sort of, figured out what worked for me, and I sort of pass it on to people, and hopefully they can take bits and pieces of it and other people's and their own experience and turn it into a positive thing so that they're moving forward and keeping their love and their passion moving forward and growing in this hobby. Because, I've been doing this for so long, and I'm still excited as I was, back in the day. And I'm still more excited because now I learn more.
That's so awesome. Listen, they love you. Thanks for putting up with us. Is more like you should be saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm glad Greg dressed for the occasion. Like
I did, right? He wore a fake tie even. Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Be good. Peace, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye.